What's up, dudes? Okay, so we took our hour break almost to the minute, which is cool by me. We're finishing up this section. I am my own boss right now, anyway. So yeah, don't want to be late to work. We took a break from 4:14, 16. Sure. Well, actually, we don't. Well, I'll just do it like this. We'll say 2d8 414, and we continued invitation, blah, 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 and so on and so forth, all the way to rather 516 when we came back to an undisclosed, yet to be determined future. And let's hope we can finish this because we spent a lot of time on it. To finish it. So next we need to remove the collided cards dictionary as we can use the list instead. That is true. Let's just find, well, yeah, that's not an attribute. We don't, we don't need it to be an attribute. Say, well, we could replace it. Don't, like, we just don't. After the review, determining this is a locally set and access attribute, therefore do not need to transfer this adder. Alright. Guess what? It's gone. We don't need it at all. Hold up. Let me make sure before I jump the gun. Okay. Yeah, we don't need it. That was quick. So this needs to be changed to list collided card. Alright, that. That's old code, so we'll leave that. We need it to. Alright, so then we clear that, but we don't. Okay, well, if we're going to implement a perfect save system, well, man, that means everything would have to be an attribute. You know, like, fuck that. I'll leave that to the future. I'm not doing that. I don't even like to think about the fact that I have to implement the perfect save system thing. I'm gonna have to ask ChatGPT on some. Matter of fact, I need to write this down. I'll get ChatGPT to do this. ChatGPT will create Excel. I meant gotta keep track of all this stuff. Alright. I feel the caffeine, boys. I feel it. It's entering into my veins as we speak. I'm feeling it, alright? I'm alive again. So we're gonna remove this. I don't care about the perfect save system right now and the fact that we're probably gonna need to make that back into an attribute. Who cares? Alright, so we're done with that. Next, we need to finish the rest of this section to conform to replacement. Logic needs to be connected to the lower portion. So, we have a mouse button down, active, true, click card none, click card, click a card, false, collided cards list created, iterate through clickable. If collided with card, clicked a card is true. Collided cards list append, and let me discount double check because this is going to be like my final review for this. It's necessary to not remove this only place click card is set back to none. It is necessary because of the associated logic and progression. This value still being set equal to none for its proper logical flow. True. Alright. Clicked a card. Also necessary. Okay, whoa, whoa, what the hell did I just do? Alright, replacing below section, populates collected cards list. I don't even need to write that, bro. Like, this stuff has become so simple, this section, that it's just, like, I don't even need to comment it, it's so simple. So then we iterate through clickable card list. Don't need lock since it's run on the client side, true. Then we check to see if it collided with the event position. If so, then we did click a card. So click card true, collide card list, append that card. Alright, yeah, we append the card to the collided cards list. Fair enough. Then we check to see if clicked a card is equal to true. If it is, we log the self ID the collided cards list to see all the cards we collided with. Then we get the assign the clicked card to collided cards list at index -1, which is the last element in the list, and we verified all that logic to be correct. Click card will always be the last card in the collided cards list because it goes from top to bottom and left to right. True. Alright, so this is our old section. Now we're going to check this, which says this indentation level doesn't exist anymore. So this should only happen. I just want to make sure we're going to end up putting this like in the right location. Like it's supposed to be in this indentation. I hope so. You know, that's the goal here. Just put it in the right spot. So we have event handler start time. Highlight click card set to true. Event handler start time set to the current time in nanoseconds. Do not change or remove. Verified necessary is used to determine if it has been 2 seconds since time duration. Okay. So click card sound play. Yeah, we want this to get. This is for highlighting the card. Put handles highlighting the clicked card for 2 seconds. That's kind of like, what is this for? So that is good indentation, right? So this, I'm pretty sure we can just move this up here. So it now will happen in this if clause. Assign the click card, and then it will check to see if the event handler start time is equal to none. It will then assign highlight click card to true, then assign event handler start time to the current time. Then it will play click card sound, because that means we clicked a card, so we want it to play the sound. So I think all this is good so far. Discount double check. Choose multiple cards is true. We check to see if the clicked card is not in cards list. Okay. Append it to the click cards list. Okay, fair enough. That's pretty straightforward. That sounds legit. And else, which means choose multiple cards is equal to false. In that case, we would change click card active false, like done. Choose multiple cards is true. Still keep click card active. Makes sense. Card list. Okay. That also makes sense that we would do that. We have changed. We're now going to clear the clickable card list if the only card that if we were only going to click one card and we have clicked one card. So we then clear that list. That seems to make sense to me. Technically I could, like check to make sure this isn't happening like twice, like redundantly. And I could totally do that. So let's matter of fact, I just want to look to see if it's cleared. I don't care about what else happens to it. So this gets clear it in multiple cards. So in choose a multiple card, it gets cleared. This is in the context of choose multiple cards having been true. Actually, it's in the context of cards being false. So like this is completely separate. We need this. We need this line. So I'm gonna just put verified necessary. It isn't already executed in another location. It's not redundant. Yeah, it's not redundant. Cool. Moving on. Our list, clear. And then we have below for multiple choice active. Choice active. Also, doing active is true or multiple cards. If both of these are true, Didn't we just say that choose multiple cards? If we set it to false, automatically this? Yeah, so if we have set this to false, it clears the clickable card list. Okay. This is different. This is, oh no, it's not. Choose multiple cards. Choose multiple. Same thing. This is an or. This is active. Click card active intrinsically doesn't. Click card active doesn't intrinsically, derivatively uh, list, right? It does not. Yeah, it does not. Okay. So moving forward, we'll go back to, what is it? I can't remember the specific thing we were looking for. Clickable card list clear. Because we were looking through this section. So this is necessary. So we'll put verified necessary logic. Well, it's only necessary if choose multiple cards. If it's click card active is causing us to access this section. If choose multiple cards is already true and we're about to set choose multiple cards to false, that is going to cause derivative of that setter. It's going to clear the clickable card list intrinsically, derivatively. So we need to clarify. So this is actually redundant logic in the case that we're about to change multiple cards to false. Choose multiple cards. Because choose multiple cards being changed to false literally clears the clickable card list. Okay, so this means we can think about how to do this. Do want to set both of these to false, but we don't want to clear the clickable card list if it's choose multiple cards. So we'll then say if self dot click card active is equal to true, only then would we do this. Verified necessary logic only for this instance. If we entered this section via choose multiple cards, we would section via choose multiple cards, we would end up. No, man, I'm dumb. Yeah, I'm an idiot. So either way, if we this is entered through click card active, we would still end up clearing the clickable card list through the multiple card choose multiple cards setter. Yeah, actually dumb here. Yeah, so this can, we don't need it. This is actually redundant. Clickable card list gets cleared. Derivatively clear click card list. Okay. So clickable card list gets cleared via the choose multiple cards and through the, what is this section? Click card active. So for choose multiple cards and click card active, the clickable card list gets cleared. But wouldn't this mean, yeah, see, so if choose multiple cards is true, we don't have to call clear card list. But if it's not equal to true, that means we're not going to set it to false, which means it's simply going to, it wouldn't clear the clickable card list. So the clickable card list has to be cleared. Now, couldn't we make it to where click card active is changed to false, that's when we would clear the clickable card list through the setter? Because every time, like every time we go to click the cards, every time we enable click card active, and then when we click a card, we enter into this section. And if we do not need to choose multiple cards, doesn't that mean we should clear the click list? And if we don't disable click card active until we have finished clicking all, like obviously if choose multiple cards is active, then if choose multiple cards is active in this scenario, we would add the clicked card to the clicked cards list, and then eventually we would have clicked all of our cards, and then at some point we would change choose multiple cards back to false. Okay, see, this is all complicated, man. It's all tangled up, you know what I mean? It is a tangled up process. It's just a lot of things that are intertwined. So I want to make this as simple as possible, as logical as possible. Anytime that we are going to click a card, when we're done clicking the card, that's when click card active gets changed to false. Once click card active gets changed to false, like any time that happens, we want to clear the clickable card list. Now, my concern was if we're also having choose multiple cards, if we also have choose multiple cards activated, how does that logic, how does that play into the, how does that determine what kind of logic we should roll with? It does affect it, but I think we can pretty much ignore choose multiple cards as long as we are correct in our assessment. Choose multiple cards always goes hand in hand with click card active. So basically, like if they're always a pair, we can recognize that and we can just let click card active handle clearing the clickable card list through its setter. Remember though, I really don't want to break code, so like I should probably not change this until I can test it. Remember that? So we have so now we need, let's go to choose multiple cards. That's the question. So we choose multiple cards and we have all this stuff. Okay, what does the setter for choose multiple cards do? That's really what I need to know. So the setter does, if the val is true, if we set choose multiple cards to true, what happens is we will get rid of this. So we clear the clicked cards list. Now I don't know if we should do that. Why would I do that? Why would we wait until we set choose multiple cards to true to clear the clicked card? Well, okay, it's like the same thing as setting clicked card to none at the beginning of the, that event section. You could I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to worry about that. I was gonna say you could make the argument that we should then like put that line which says equal to none inside of the card active setter, and you know what? You would probably be right. And a card inside the setter. I hate discovering like that I could have improved something or maybe, and then I review it and I'm like, oh man, whatever. Alright, what are we looking at here? Okay, choose multiple cards. The setter. What does the setter do? The setter, if we change the val to true, we clear the clicked cards list. Okay. We log, and that doesn't need to be here anymore. Then we have highlight clicked cards list bool set to true. We set choose multiple cards to false. Then we'll clear the clickable list. And then we would so we clear the clickable card list when we change choose multiple cards. Right. Okay, so the overarching question was, could we just do that in to have it in one place? So like instead of executing it in the choose multiple card setter, once we set choose multiple cards to false, would it be more a better location, a more proper location for this code to exist inside of the click card active because basically, like, anytime we're gonna click card active gets set to true. That means we're gonna click a card, which means once we've clicked a card, we would clear the clickable card list. If choose multiple cards is false, because if it's true, and we check that in the setter, or we check that somewhere, like, hold on, let me think about this. So we set click card active to true, the clickable card list is populated, then we click our card, that will remain true if choose multiple cards is true. So inside of that event handler, when click card active is true and we click a card, we then check to see if choose multiple cards is true. If choose multiple cards is true, then that means we don't change click card active back to false. But if we have, if choose multiple cards is set to false, then that means we're done clicking our cards and we should clear the card list. Which means that in the case that choose multiple cards is true, we wouldn't want to clear the clickable card list yet. So we would still want the clickable card list to remain populated. And that means we're going to keep click card active set to true. Once we have finished clicking all of our cards, we would then set click card active to false. And in this case, choose multiple cards would be set to true. And if we put this clearing of the clickable card list in the click card active setter, when click card active got changed to false, it would derivatively clear the clickable card list, which would mean we wouldn't need to clear the clickable card list whenever choose multiple cards was set to false. This could be valid and would improve the code only in the scenario that, well, only if choose multiple cards is always trying to think of the proper statement. It would be valid if clickable card list got cleared. Rather, it's not correct. It would be valid in the case that click card active always got set back to false every time choose multiple cards was about to get set to false. if changing choose multiple cards to false always goes hand in hand with changing click card active to false, then that means we could remove this line of code from the choose multiple card setter. If, on the other hand, choose multiple cards being set to false does not always go hand in hand with click card active being set to false, meaning if we enabled choose multiple cards without click card active, then we would need this line because we couldn't rely on click card active handling it for us. But click card active should handle it because click card active has to be active for you to be able to choose multiple cards. So you could basically say that choose multiple cards is dependent upon click card active. You can't have choose multiple cards be true if click card active isn't also true. Which means anytime you have choose multiple cards, done, like if you're done and you're about to set choose multiple cards to false, well, you know, the logic is to use paint for this one to figure this out. Because we just don't need this to happen in both. You know what I'm saying? We don't need clickable card list to be cleared through choose multiple cards. I think the more proper location would be to have it cleared through click card active. But also, this click card active being set derivatively through choose multiple cards, that is not that's not like the way to go either, right? The way to go would be for the other way around. The click card active would check to see actually inside of click card active there wouldn't be make that determination like just because you're done clicking a card doesn't mean you're not going to click more cards. So the setter of click card active Yeah, like you couldn't say in the click card active setter, if choose multiple cards is true, then set it to false. If you're setting click card active to false. I don't know. Actually, is that actually right though? I think that actually is right. If you're setting click card active to false and cards is set to true, that should only happen if at the place where you were deciding the logic, like in progression file or whatever, the place where you enabled click card active and choose multiple cards to begin with, you set them to true. If you've clicked all your cards, you could just make it to where, okay, I've clicked all of my multiple cards. Choose multiple cards has been active. Whenever I clicked a card, appended to the clicked card list through the event handler, and now I'm done clicking cards. I'm going to set click card active to false. Now when I set click card active to false, through this, it's going to also check if choose multiple cards is set to true. If choose multiple cards is set to true, we're gonna set it to false. So we are we're gonna take care of well, like because we know if it's true, then there's no reason to keep it true anymore. It needs to be set back to false. So obviously that would be the correct logical. That implies that this clickable card list clearing, and also that implies that choose multiple cards set to false when it is true means that 100% of the time click card active is also going to be set to false. And since click card active is the overarching logical boolean, we would rely on click card active setter and not choose multiple card setter. All that to say, we would not want to run this line which clears the click card list because the click card active would do that instead, and that also means that we would not want to derivatively set click card active to false because the click card active is the one that's going to be handling choose multiple cards. Does that make sense? I know it's confusing, but I'm pretty sure uh, that's the route we want to take. So I'll just put a note right here. Section. For after disabled after necessity review determined that this code is more properly handled in the click card active setter instead. Leaving this until I am 100% sure. Leaving what? Leaving the code until I am 100% sure new logic is valid. And I have to piss like really bad, so I'm gonna have to use the bathroom real quick. So we're gonna happen in click instead. Easy, 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 easy. Alright. Yeah, so let's do this. Let's make it to where... And what was the overarching thing here? So the overarching thing was clickable card list. So the places where this happens is in the event handler, and I'm proposing to move this to the active handler setter. This to since we're always going to this every time click card active is set to false, why would we not just put it in the setter? And basically that's the rule here, is if we do something 100% of the time that something else is done, and that something else has a setter method, then we would just make that event get triggered by the connected event. So like if they always are together, we can, you know, let them be together in a more logical way. So every time click card active is set to false, that's when we want to clear the clickable card list. Right? Isn't that true? Like the only time we want to click, like if click card active is true, then that means the clickable card list is populated, and then whenever click card active is false, we are done clicking cards, which means we are ready to clear the clickable card list. Now, yeah, this puts more pressure on click card active, because we're more reliant on it being properly coded, but you know, that reduces code repetition, it increases the code simplicity, and it's kind of like the convention for this project. Our standard is to put logic together that goes together. If it's 100% related every time, and I don't see any case where we would change click card active to false and then not also change the clickable card list to clear. Have to make sure that we would make sure that this data didn't get circularly sent over the network. Let's say we change click card active to false on the server side, that gets transferred over to the client side. When it gets applied on the client side, it's going to call the setter. The setter is going to then clear the card list. When we call clear, if we don't specify, that action would then trigger the card list clear method to get sent back over to the server side, when in fact it would have already happened on the server side through the click card active setter, which is bad. So in the click card active setter, we would have to pass in which is right. Change from dir check bool. So we basically need a change from dir check bool. We assign the check. Okay, here we go. So this would remove this to click active. Boom. Same thing here. Yeah. So now let's go to the, let's see where else this happens. So this also happens in progression. We clear the card list in 2. But if that so in this case, click card active would be true, but then we click since choose multiple cards isn't also true. Right. So if in this case, if choose multiple cards is false, we would set click card active to false. And we could therefore that means the clickable card list would automatically be cleared. This would be this would already be done. So this is redundant. Do the same thing here. 2 lines. Lines disable this after necessity review. Deem it necessary. Let's click card. Or since clickable list is always clear, active is set. Therefore, it is redundant to do it again here. Immediately after the setter, leaving case, leaving the code just in case we necessary. Boom. Big money magic right there, fellas. Okay, so yes. All right. So this place, this center. We're gonna do it. So we need to go to click card active. And this setter. Let's put these side by side. Open up here. choose multiple cards. Yeah. Where are we at here? Alright. Make this, the scroll wheel will work on my mouse instead of going in the opposite direction. Stupid shit. Look at this. Alright. Choose multiple cards setter. Choose cards. For function. The type of val is equal to 2. That means we changed from dirt check. True. Remove that. Choose multiple cards. Instead, if type of val right here. To else. Type of else. Going to data transfer function. Boom. Okay. So when we run the core function, it's going to check to see if the type of the val is from dirt check. If not, change it from dirt check, so it would be false. Then we would when we would check if the val is equal to false, right? So anytime, it's my break time. I'm gonna finish this though before I forget. So anytime you're setting click card active to false, check to see choose multiple cards, remember? Keep that in mind. Okay. So we're going to set the internal click card active to val, and then we're going to, and this is in core function, right? Yeah. If this is going to get run every time, no matter what, then we're going to say if val is equal to false, which means if we're setting click card active to false, no matter what, every time we set click card active to false, we are going to clear the clickable card list, right? Yeah. And you know, I should leave this in. Oh fuck. I know what to do. I know what to do here. right here. We're gonna copy the core func. Well, actually, we'll copy from if type of val is equal to tuple all the way down to the bottom. We're gonna copy that. Bang. And this is in choose multiple cards core func below the below line comment. So now we're going to redo these changes. Okay. Now we're going to go back to choose multiple cards, wherever it is. There it is. Okay. Now we're going to highlight all this all the way up to this spot, and we're going to paste in this code. Boom. Okay. This is going to be changed to moved. We moved it. Moved this to click card setter. And just put this. Boom. Moved this to click card active instead. Setter. Okay. Now we can go back to click card active setter, and we're going to finish this core function. So we have if type val is equal to tuple, we change from dirt check bool is true, else it's not been changed from dirt check, which means we set that bool to false. We would then check to see if the val is equal to false. If it is equal to false, then we would clear the this is actually just this line, and then this section we don't actually need. Okay, so that's correct. Alright, so now we would run this code, which is self-clickable card list clear, with her set to the changed from dirt check bool. So we would paste it here. Every time we are done clicking cards, we need to clear the clickable card list. Okay, and then if we're setting it to false, we would also check if self choose multiple cards is equal to true. Since we are done clicking cards. This also means if choose multiple cards is equal to true, we would also need to set it back to false. I'm pretty sure that's correct. So if self choose multiple cards is equal to true, and the choose multiple cards, yeah, if the val of the card active is set to false and choose multiple cards is true, we would then set self choose multiple cards equal to false. Boom. If we're done clicking cards, this also means if choose multiple cards is equal to true, we'd also need to set it. We need to also have to check the almost got me there with the circular data append. We would also need to check the change from dirt check bool, right? So we'd say if change from dirt check bool is equal to true, then we would set it to false in the form of a tuple, and we say changed from dirt check say else, which is messed up. Did that happen? How did this? So choose multiple cards true, set it to false, but we actually would do it like this. If choose multiple cards is equal to true, we then would check to see if changed from dirt check. If it is, we have to modify choose multiple cards in the form of a tuple to ensure it's not going to append data, circularly transfer the data, else, which is elif changed from check bool is equal to false. Then we could just set choose multiple equal to false without having a form of a. So we're gonna re-review this and break 634. Let's review this section. Also, don't forget to remove the all redundant click list from locations here. God, I'm so done. I'm so done with this, dude. Like, oh, bro, you change one thing and then you notice you gotta fix this, and you gotta fix that. Fix this. Oh, brother, it just becomes fix, you know, logic, but you know, I'm so much smarter than I used to be. I see all these flaws in my previous logic, and I could just like breeze past them and leave some redundant shit that is, I mean, it works, but it would be, it's not, you know, it's just not 100% correct. Like doing things two times, three times in three different places when we really only do it in one place. It's just bad practice. It's not the right way to program. If you program like that, you're just being rush and you just want to finish to say you did it. But when it comes time to debug everything later, have like weird output. You're gonna have double clears, double setting things to false. When you review certain sections, you're gonna just be like, why do I have this here? Is it necessary? So like, you know, when you see it and you notice that it's not perfect, it's better to just go ahead and fix it. Chances are you're probably gonna forget about it anyway. It is, I think in the long run, it's actually faster. You know, you get to the finish line faster this way than if you were to pretend like it's enough and just on it. Alright, so I'm going to take a break. Finally, hopefully, finish the original section that we were working on for the event handler. Can move on. I'm gonna quit day after that, but I'm not gonna test it today. I'm just not doing it. It's too late. I'm tired of this. I'm gonna take a break. Back in you. God damn. and some of that shit is like delicate and interconnected with other sections that all you have to do is forget one little Okay, let's do it, bro. We're done. All right. Okay, 6:34 to 6:50. That was a long break. How'd I manage that? Who cares? Alright, so we don't want to forget to review this section. Also, don't forget to remove the now redundant clickable card list clear. Okay, so let's review this section. And I just realized I moved this to yeah, I literally moved all that, the same thing. The clickable card list clear. Then the change from dirt check bools equal to true. Well, no. Wrong again. Wrong again, lover boy. Alright. Quit being dumb, dude. So we have type of val is equal to tuple, change from dirt check bool equals true. That means we changed it from dirt check. That's why it's in the form of a tuple. That is correct. Then in the else, we would have changed it not from dirt check. So change from dirt check bool would be false since, you know, yeah. Then we go down here in the core function after we set the internal click card active to val. We check to see if val is equal to false. If it is false, every time we are done clicking cards, we need card list, because if we set the click card active to false, which is what this setter is for, we would clickable card list clear, passing in the change from dirt check parameter, which is the change from dirt check bool, to determine whether or not we should send it over the network or not. And that is correct. Only do this if it's being set to false, which means we're done clicking cards, so we don't need the clickable card list anymore. That's true. Then if multiple cards is equal to true, to see if the change from dirt check is true, and if it is, then oh wait, no, this is actually right. So if change from dirt check bool is equal to true, that means we change it from dirt check, which means when we set the cards to false, we need to do it in a tuple format. The first element is the val, and the second element is just a string change from dirt check. Since we are done clicking cards, this also means choose multiple cards is equal to true. We would also need to set it back to false, yeah. Okay. If choose multiple cards is equal to true, we would also need to set it back to false. and which is elif changed perimeter check false. In that case, we would just directly set choose multiple false. Uh, yeah, that's true. That's correct. So we reviewed that section. Everything looks good to me. And then don't forget to remove the now redundant clickable card list clear. So let's search for that. And the last thing we need to do, which we should have done already before we move that code, is to yeah, so this now can be removed. Remove center. And disable after necessity review. Then in discard, list would called by play to. Let's see. So basically, we just have to make sure that click card active always gets set back to when it's changed to true. So like whenever false, to make sure it was already, well, this section is for if it was true. We then set it to false, and then choose multiple cards. So yeah, choose multiple cards. Correct is equal to true. Okay, so this is for multiple choice. Oh god, all this logic. Oh man, okay. So this is for multiple choice equal to true. And what this checks if click card active is equal to true and choose cards equal to true. If either one of them is true, we would then set to false. Now, this might be necessary. I need to review this. I'm gonna review this at another time because I'm fried right now. Below section 1524 review logic necessity here. Necessity slash redundancy. Okay. This is in the event handle. This is the section we're dealing with. This is, I'm gonna check that later. Okay, then we have click card active set to true. Okay, yeah, so after we click the card, it will event handler, it will set it back to this, right? So like we don't actually have to set click card active back to false. The card active will get set back to false. With why do we choose multiple cards? Yes, while at least one card. So if choose multiple cards is true in this section, then that's why we have this logic here which says if choose multiple cards is true, we choose multiple cards is true. But at this point it wouldn't be true. Click card active would be true, but choose multiple cards, so it would be else. After we clicked our card, well, no, but it would be true. We have a multiple choice function. With game, click card list log for current game, click card list. Yeah, so as long as click card choose multiple cards is equal to true, we don't change click card active back to false. That would only happen if choose multiple cards. Alright. If choose multiple cards is equal to true. We would append to the click card list. Else, if it's not true, but when would we change choose multiple cards to false? So choose multiple cards gets changed back to false whenever click card active gets changed to false. Click card active indicates that choose multiple cards is true, is not going to be set back to false through its event handler, which means there has to be another place wherein and that's why we had it in fucking choose multiple cards, right? Because choose multiple cards was like, if we changed choose multiple cards, if we had it set to true, it's a nightmare. Nightmare, nightmare, nightmare. Too complicated. So complicated. Jesus, Lord have mercy on it. Alright. So, as long as whenever choose multiple cards is true, whenever we set choose multiple cards back to false, would trigger click card active being set to false. Right? Yeah. Okay. So click card active, whenever is set to false, if choose multiple cards is set to true, it will set cards to false. Whenever whenever choose multiple cards is true, click card active will not be set to false when you click a card. If choose multiple cards is still true, click card active will also remain true. But if we make it to where whenever choose multiple cards is set to false, it would, whenever choose multiple cards is set to false, does that mean we should set click card active to false? I don't know if that's true, because not every time you set choose multiple cards to false, you would also set click card active to false. Just because you set choose multiple cards to false, that doesn't also mean click card active should be set to false, right? Because maybe you're just changing, like, I don't think we should automatically say that click card active should be set to false whenever we change cards to false. I think that should be the case. They're not, it's not derivative from the other one. That would be better handled explicitly in the logic, not through the choose multiple cards setter. Got that figured out. True. This part right here is confusing me though. This is like, what is going on here? When does click card active get set back to false? You know what I'm saying? Gotta review this section too. I'm not gonna review it today. I'm trying to get this right and to get this perfect, and to get it to where it's not a jumbled, just like, random type shit. Like, I'm trying to find some consistency here, to implement some consistency into this, so that it's really like straightforward process. Review this concerning changes made to click card active setter derivative setting etc. I will know what I mean. And line is at 819. Man, that pissed me off, bro. Like, thought I had it right. I don't see where I'm changing click card active back to false, and this doesn't account. Like, whenever choose multiple cards is true, click card active is not going to be set to false. Whenever, I don't know though. Maybe we should make it to where whenever choose multiple cards is set to false, active is also set to false. So that whenever we're done choosing all of our cards, that would be the mechanism we deactivate click card. Shouldn't choose multiple cards be enabled here? Because we're not choosing multiple cards. I'll figure it out. I don't like it, bro. I don't want to do this. I don't want to mess with this. I'm done. I'm just done with it, bro. I don't want to mess with it. I'm done for the day. But we also have to figure out. Also have to figure out how we are going to change click card active back to false whenever multiple cards is equal. Because currently the event in section trigger that doesn't do so true. So that has to happen, and we currently have the only place that this happens is, is in if we just end up back where we started with the choose multiple cards thing, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be pissed off, dude. If that's where we end up, there's no way that's where we're gonna end up. It's not possible, dude. It's literally not possible. There's no way. Because now I'm like, well, put it in the choose multiple cards setter. Maybe that'll fix the problem. And that's just back where we started. Not completely. Like, obviously we did optimize other things, but with that one thing, yeah, it would be like. So yeah, so we set it to false in the initial settings. We set it to false, or we did set it to false in choose multiple cards. We might end up re-implementing this because we might need that. You know what I'm saying? So it's okay for them to disable each other, you know, like in certain instances. It's fine. There's no conflict. It's a little bit complicated. There's no actual logical flaw with that. It seems kind of circular, but it's not actually. It's conditional. It's like, you know, like a diagonal reference thing, like, you know what I'm saying? So this is the event handler, and then the only other place is this is from multiple choice active. Now this might handle the our concern here. Like this might cover because what way that that changes. There's no way that this multiple choice active section would apply to every single time we choose multiple cards. There's not a correlation between choose multiple cards and multiple choice active. There's not. There shouldn't be. So, like, we'd say C line number 1053 game. In relation to this, unsure of if this would these instances, if it would be better to just have choose multiple cards setter handle setting click card active back to false whenever use multiple card was being set. And as was previously. So overall, we did make an improvement, but we actually might end up re-enabling code that we disabled in choose multiple cards, which would set click card active to false in certain instances when choose multiple cards is true, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, anyway, we're done for the day. We did good though. I'm happy. I'm not tripping. I'm not like, you know, it is what it is. We did good. It never is going to be perfect. Like, I'm never gonna walk away from the day and say, well, you know what, that was just perfect. 823 in progression. finish stage and commit our changes here. Go from 721 to 723. Holy shit, bro. So let's assume Alright, so we had 2:58 to 4:14. That's basically 3 to 4:15, which is an hour and 15 minutes. And then we have, so that's hour 15, and then we have 5:15 to 7:30, which is 2 hours and 15 minutes. We'll just say to 7:15, so that's actually 2 hours plus an hour and 15, so that's 3 hours and 15, which is 3.25. I really felt like more than that. I did a lot. So let's now commit our changes. So we'll do git branch, and of course we are in the root of the project to ensure when we do git add, it adds all of the files that we need to. And we are on the correct branch, so we do git add dots to add everything. We do git commit -m double paste in our devil double quotes to close it. We successfully committed 4 files changed, 79 insertions, and 65 deletions. We do git push, it's the secondary, and we go, we're going to push this GitHub cloud, and successfully pushed all that stuff. Now, we to Steve Carell a moment. Go to programming, Canasta, copy the inner Canasta, go into the backup, delete the old folder, paste in the new backup folder. We're going to enter into it, check our to ensure that it is reflective today, which is the 15th, and since it is, name this to reflect today's date. There we go. Now we're done, guys. And what a day. I'll see you tomorrow, and we'll finish some more. All right. Have